All right, it is 6:45. I'm going to call the joint meeting of the City Council and Board of Finance to order. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Flag is to my right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll do a call to order, and I'll start with introductions on my far right. Go ahead, Mr. Mace. We haven't done introductions in a while, so I'm giving you on your toes.
John Mace, Board of Finance.
David Mikowski, Board of Finance.
Bill Campion, Board of Finance.
Marie O'Brien, Board of Finance.
Sebastian Piniotto, City Council.
Jacqueline Olson, City Council, District 2.
Sue Tyler, City Council, District 2.
Jeff Caggiano, Mayor.
Darrell Tebow, City Council, District 3.
Eric Rosengren, City Council, District 1.
Mark Dickow, City Council, District 3.
And online, we have Glenn, you go first.
Glenn Heiser, Board of Finance.
And Mike Mazzarelli, go ahead.
Michael Massarelli, Board of Finance.
Very good. I think we'll have a pretty quick meeting tonight as well, too. So we'll move on to approval of the minutes. So can I have a motion to approve the February 11th meeting minutes?
So move.
Second.
Changes, additions, or corrections? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? That motion carries. Our consent agenda is items A through D. Anybody have anything that they wish to withdraw? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Diane, you ready? See how quick that was? I knew it was going to be a quick meeting. We'll do our monthly revenue and expense report presentation. Well, once we get to Diane.
Not too much either. It's kind of a short report. We've been working on budget for the last couple of weeks, so it's been kind of busy in our office. Anyway, so you do have the report. I kind of added a different graph to kind of make it a little bit more colorful this month, to just show you how tax collections have been coming in. And I think you can see graphically, we're doing well. I think current levy actually is pretty much in line where it has been in prior years. We are actually at 99.3% of the budget, which is excellent for the end of February. Our prior year percentage is not in comparison to last year, only because we did increase the prior year budget number this year. So as you can see, it is consistent with 22-23. And the motor vehicle sub, we've actually collected 100%. So anything that comes in now is surplus money on the motor vehicle supplement. So I thought it would be nice to show it that way. Any questions on tax collections? And I do know the tax collector has sent dollar notices out, delinquent notices, and following everything in accordance with state statute. With regard to some of the other fees, again, you can see they're coming in very well. And investment income, we're still projecting conservatively will be at $2.25 million through the end of the fiscal year. And we budget like 1.25, I think. So again, we'll have surplus in our investment earnings. On the expenditure side, the city's doing very well. I don't anticipate any accounts or any departments to run into any significant issues. Some of the overtime in some of the departments, primarily fire and police, we always do tend to be able to cover it in other areas within their department. I will say I know the Board of Education did receive their excess costs grant since last month. The amount that came in was $4.3 million. So right now their deficit for the current year, or their over expenditure right now, they're looking at a negative $7.5 million. So that's where they are right now. And as you know, they do have a spending freeze in place, and hopefully we'll bring that number down as we go closer. I know with the special ed, I think the additional special ed legislation that went through, the city is anticipated to receive $1.3 million. And I know Lynn Boisvert, their director of finance over there, said it could be as high as 1.7, depending on how the money is distributed amongst all the other towns and cities. But I think at a minimum, that will be an additional $1.3 million. Any questions on any of that?
Diane, just one question. Were they expected, I looked at it quickly before I came here, the February snapshot, because they have their meeting tomorrow. Were they expecting 4.9 with the excess cost?
They were expecting 5.9.
Yeah. Cool.
It comes in two different installments, so that what they received was not 100%
Okay,
that yet.
Okay.
that's what I was concerned about. Okay.
CIP committee is meeting Monday. That will be their final meeting, and they will be making their recommendations to the Board of Finance, which the Board of Finance will review at their meeting on March 25th. And with regard to the budget itself, as you know, we're reviewing with all the departments. We have a meeting tomorrow night. We have Public Works has the entire night to present their budgets. The 19th is the Board of Education, and the 25th will be all other departments. That meeting will be right after the Board of Finance meeting, and just to let you know, we'll be looking at, or the Board of Finance will be looking at BBHD, sewer and water. They'll be doing their capital review at that point as well, benefits and debt service. I guess good news, and I know Board of Finance did not get this, but I will forward it to them after this meeting. I know it went to the council, but with the legislation on the grand list and the motor vehicle, we were actually able to recoup almost all of we lost 2.5 million with the motor vehicle change initially. With the new legislation, we're actually losing only 825,000 of that. So we were able to, that was really good news for the city to gain that back. So good news there, and I think the assessor will be talking about that later in the council meeting as well.
Yep. You're rosier than I am. We still lost 825,000, but it is good news.
Any questions?
Just one quick question
Go
on
ahead,
that.
Marie.
Is that a permanent change, or is that only a change for this fiscal year?
I'd have to defer to Tom, but I do think it is permanent. Yeah. Oh, it's not permanent? Oh, and it is by local option, so the council
Right.
does have to approve it tonight as well.
The council has to approve.
It is a local option, so the city can opt to not adopt the change or leave it as is. So
If the city council votes to adopt the change, then is it permanent? It's a permanent.
I don't think so. I think the legislation
It's just-
allows the state legislature to go back to the original
Original.
calculation, and it might be, relooked at in many ways. By the way, I wish they raised the motor vehicle cap. That's what I was asking for, but, and they did consider that. They may consider other things as well moving forward. This is kind of a quick fix because there wasn't a city or town that wasn't going to lose about 13 or 14% of their motor vehicle revenue that they've had in the past. So,
it was significant.
and I will just say CCM predicted it from the beginning. They had asked for the 90% calculation rate. I think many of the assessors had asked for that upfront. So this is a burden on Tom, or we have the old Board of Finance here. Tom and the assessor's office has to recalculate this and do some work. In the smaller cities and towns, this is going to be a bigger deal. They don't have as much support and a great staff like we do here. So it's a little bit of a burden, but we are on a better track at least.
That's it.
Any other questions for Diane?
Gave you back time tonight.
Yep, we still have to wait till 7 to start the meeting, but we will start the meeting on time tonight, which would be great. All right, any other business to come before us? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. We're gonna call our meeting to order in 1 second. We're just gonna wait for Councilman Dickow to get to his seat, I think, and the lawyers to get ready. And of course, my agenda is not. I use the paper one because I know I got, the way I check it off and I keep it. Okay, it is 7 PM. I'm gonna call our city council meeting to order. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag is to my right. Rise if you can. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We'll do quick introductions if we could. Sebastian, I'll start with you on my right.
Sebastian Piniotto, City Council, District 1.
Jacqueline Olson, City Council, District 2.
Sue Tyler, City Council, District 2.
Jeff Caggiano, Mayor.
Cheryl Tebow, City Council, District 3.
Eric Rosengren, City Council, District 1.
Mark Dickow, City Council, District 3.
Great. So it's not listed on the agenda, but if we have what we call opening ceremonies, we do those at this point. So this is going to be a very fun night because we have two separate opening ceremonies that we'd like to start with. And the first one is a great pleasure of mine. We just did the Pledge of Allegiance, and we had a 100-year-old veteran stand up for that flag, as so many I have seen of his veterans do that. I had the very fortunate ability to sit down with Mr. Fitz over the last couple of years. I got to actually visit him on his birthday last week, just a week ago. So he's actually 100 years old in 1 week, and he is more fit, more sharp, more fun to be around than most 50-year-olds, I will say. And I'm in that kind of category. I'm towards the further end. So we've done an awful lot of celebrating recently, so I'm not going to belabor this point. We had a great ceremony at the American Legion where Mr. Fitz has won several recognitions and honor. And one of the ones I just want to highlight is something that he kind of just passed by. He got a notification that was from Boris Yeltsin, right, in Russia, thanking him for delivering supplies in a very dangerous mission during World War II. And the way he takes everything that he did is the way that generation takes everything that they did. That greatest generation gives all to us and are so humble. So Mr. Fitz, I want to ask you up. I have an all heart award for you. I'll read it real quickly here. It's just very simple. Happy 100th birthday. Thank you for our service to our country during World War II, and God bless you. So come on up. We'll give you that award.
God bless America.
Amen. For sure.
So it's kind of fitting that we have the greatest generation and one of our younger generations here, and I'm glad that they can see that. That's something that I'm going to continue to push, that we honor our veterans. One last thing on that note. The Lieutenant Governor is very dedicated to our military, and in May, and Mr. Fitz, you might be able to help with this more as well. In May, they will honor all living World War II veterans. We have 4 very active, able, 97 years old, 2 100-year-olds, and 1 99-year-old who will be 100 on April 24th. And I have a list, and Erica put this together for me, of potential veterans. But if anybody knows of any other World War II veterans that are living in Bristol or even around Bristol, they didn't have to be born here. We just want to collect the information on all of them to recognize them this May. So we have the younger generation here. Bristol has had a long history, very good success in the wrestling arena, and we've had 3 state wrestling champions among us tonight. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to ask Yusef Ba from Bristol Eastern High School, Luke Viennes from Bristol Eastern High School, and Alex Lamar from Bristol Central High School. Come on up. I want to congratulate all of them on a state championship. Do 3 because I'm not a wrestler. I want to look. I won't get one.
You can tackle him if you want to show us how it's done,
Single leg and a double leg.
Congratulations. What weight classes, by the way? 132, 138, 106. That's good. You didn't have to wrestle each other throughout. Congratulations, guys. All right, and this is great. I love they all sat down. We're going to sit through our entire meeting. How this works. No, you guys, if you do want to get going, it's okay. I know how that works. Our next order of business while they're moving around is the approval of the minutes. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the February 11th City Council meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
You got to come back for 101 next year, Mr. Fitz. All right, any changes, corrections, additions to the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. I don't believe anybody signed up for public participation, but we had a lot going on. You don't see anything there. Last call here live. Anybody public participation? And then we don't have anybody on Zoom either for public participation. We have a couple up top. Anybody wish to address the council? Last call. All right. We will move on to announcements, and I'll move over to my left and start with you, Mark.
Bristol continues to be rich with arts, culture, and nonprofits that give back every month. On Sunday, March 16th, at the Italian Social Club on 31 Barber Street, from 8 to 12, there is going to be a St. Patrick's breakfast, including scrambled eggs, bacon and sausage, hash brown patties, Texas-style French toast, $10 for adults, $5 for children under 10. On March 23rd, the Exchange Club is holding a Mum Festival Bingo at the Polish Club. Doors open at 11, ticket sales at 12:30, game starts at 2, $12 admission. On Sunday, March 29th, the Bristol Senior Center there will be a Spring Fling Craft Fair from 9 to 3 to benefit the Mum Festival. Also on Saturday, March 29th, the Bristol Event Center there will be a stand-up comedy night at 6 o'clock with dinner and a show for $80 per person. This is to benefit the Environmental Learning Centers of Connecticut, Barnes Nature Center, and Indian Rock Preserve. Featuring national stand-up comedians, and all proceeds benefit the Environmental Learning Centers of Connecticut education programs. Go to www.elect.org for more information. This month is Women's History Month. There is going to be a presentation at the Bristol Historical Society regarding women in military. The first program is going to be March 20th at the Historical Society from 7 to 9. There's going to be 5 more programs that will be in May, June, September, October, and November.
Thanks, Mark. Eric?
All right, we're going to start off with this one. Bristol CERT is if you're interested in supporting emergency responders, your community in time of need, maybe you'd like to learn more about how to be prepared for emergencies. Bristol CERT is offering their basic emergency preparedness class over 2 days, Saturday, April 12th and Saturday, April 26th. After successful completion of the class, you'll have the option to be sworn in as a CERT volunteer. Some of the topics covered will include CERT organization, disaster, medical operations, fire safety, light search and rescue, disaster psychology, and terrorism. On a lighter note, the Bristol Auto Club will be starting their 2025 cruise nights, celebrating 50 years from 1975 to 2025. It'll be the first and third Saturday night from May 3rd through September 20th from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. They will have free admission, raffles, 3 awards for each night. Food you can get at 10 Main, oldies music, 50/50 raffle, ample parking, bathrooms available. No burnouts, no alcohol, no pets, no cutouts, and no bicycles. Thank you.
Cheryl?
Thank you, Mayor. I want to go over some upcoming events at Rockwell Theater, Bristol Downtown Live. By the way, if you do not subscribe to the website yet, just type in Downtown Live. You'll come to our special website just for the theater. If you put in your email, you'll get advance notice about upcoming ticket sales and all the shows that are going to be there the rest of the year. On Saturday, March 15th from 7 to 9, we do have comedy night at Downtown Live with Jordan Carl, Shaquana Cochran, and Tammy Pescatelli. I got a correction. This is an 18+ event, by the way. Thought it was family fair, but it is 18+. Tickets are on sale now. They're $35 each. On Saturday, April 12th, we have a special event for children, and this is a presentation of Charlotte's Web, which is based on E.B. White's story about the pig Wilbur and the spider Charlotte, and it's a fabulous story brought to life in theater at Rockwell Theater. It's approximately 60 minutes, and it's geared towards grades K through 5. $20 for children, $30 for adults, and children under 2 are free. And then we had a local community action team request a grant from the Arts and Culture Commission, and they are going to sponsor the movie Hidden Figures for International Women's History Month. And this great movie will be free. It'll be a free viewing on Thursday, March 27th at 5:30. Doors open at 5:30. Coming up also, if you want to mark your calendar, it's a little early, but almost opening season for fishing, and the 74th Annual Fishing Derby will be held on Saturday, April 26th from 7:30 to 10 at Rockwell Park Pond. This event is free for children 13 years of age and under. It does require pre-registration. So you can register at the park site, the Recreation and Parks site. Each participant may use one pole, one hook, one bobber, and legal bait. No artificial lures. Parents can assist in casting, but children need to land their own fish. And I will not take any fish off the hooks or put worms on. I don't do that, no. But the winners will be announced at 10 a.m. And while we're talking about water, the Forestville Village Association is holding their annual Pequabic River Duck Race on the first Sunday in May. Tickets will be going on sale relatively soon. I understand they're being printed right now. And each ticket is still only $5 to win some fabulous prizes. Also, this Friday, the Forestville Village Association is holding Jukebox Bingo at the Senior Center from 7 to 9. Doors open at 6:30. And lastly, please remember that the OMK is sponsoring the annual OM show. I believe this is year number 84. And the talent has already been practicing and rehearsing for a fabulous show. There were 2 shows on April 25th and April 26th. It will be at BAMES. Tickets are available at the Boys and Girls Club Facebook page or at the club. I don't have the price though here. So, thank you.
Great, there.
I got one. I was gonna do a committee report, but I think this would be more appropriate.
Perfect, go ahead, Eric.
This is the Early Childhood Alliance. Just a reminder, it's time to register for kindergarten. Parents should not wait to register their children, as timely registration helps the district plan accordingly. As an added incentive, children who are registered before the last day of school will be entered into a drawing to ride to their first day of kindergarten on a fire truck. Bristol Public Schools Pre-K received an additional 15 day slots. There are currently 5 openings left. Call 860-584-7828 if you're interested. Also, in a partnership with Bristol Public Library, the Bristol Early Childhood Alliance and School Readiness Council are hosting a sensory-friendly movie night for families with young children. It's going to be on March 23rd at 1:30 p.m. Looking ahead, the 3rd Annual Family Fun Day is Saturday, June 21. And we are currently looking for sponsors and vendors. If you are interested, please call Megan Adams at 860-583-0306. Thank you.
I actually have a couple of announcements tonight, a couple of major things that I think are happening. As everybody has probably heard, that ReWorld did receive the medical waste permit. And so I'm not sure what the timing is of when they will start that process. But in the background, I've been working with ReWorld, and I've also been working with Senator Henry Martin and actually Representative Fortier, because we've been trying to get the state to be much more active in mainly the emissions monitoring for this process. ReWorld will come out with an official press release probably tomorrow, but I do have in writing from them that they will guarantee us, the city of Bristol and the city council, in working with us, to make sure that they will continue, number one, their own proactive continuous emissions monitoring system. That has been out on their webpage for the last probably year and a half, and they did that proactively. The state does not require that. As a matter of fact, the state is the one that monitors all of these activities. They do also have, and through the press release you'll see, they have another facility down in Florida that is very similar to ours here in Bristol. That facility had a biomedical waste percentage of 10% that got added. And over time, they continued to monitor not only the regular things that they monitor, but mercury, which is a precursor for heavy metals. And they also look at hydrochloric acid or acid gases, HCl, to be a precursor for dioxins and furans. There is some argument that biomedical waste is going to have more plastic in it than our regular trash, but trust me, I've been watching my trash out there. Trash is trash. There's a lot of garbage that we wouldn't burn in our backyard. So what ReWorld has guaranteed us is they will commit to voluntarily installing and operating a pilot program for 1 year to monitor the emissions of mercury and the acid gas hydrogen chloride. The data from the system will be provided directly to the public. We will have a link on our website to go ahead and monitor this. It's basically just going to take you to the page that's already out there where they're doing their current continuous emissions monitoring. And this will hopefully give us more comfort in the fact that the emissions coming from that plant, which quite honestly have been coming from that plant for nearly 40 years, continue to be safe. And I will also share with you, I've been in contact with Senator Henry Martin. He has a bill that's still up at the Capitol and being looked at through the Senate bill process. And he will also look to continue to work to have the state reassess their emissions monitoring. He's looking for EPA standards. Very complicated process, but I'm very proud to say that we have worked directly with ReWorld to make sure that we will continue to have safe, clean air around us, and more to come on what it exactly means for the medical waste permit when that will happen. One other very nice announcement that I have, and this has been in the news, but I just want to put it out there as well, that one of our very first business, technically, the Barnes business, had a very large manufacturing space, Associated Spring, which has been closed for a couple of years now. We've managed to land Express Kitchens, which is tremendous. It's not many companies now that can come in and fill 250,000 square feet of manufacturing space. In addition, they hope to use the 4-story building that's attached for kind of a hands-on experience for a kitchen cabinet sales. And it's not going to be maybe direct sales to the public, but the public will be allowed in, and subcontractors can come through and purchase the kitchen equipment. So this will help all of you, I think. We're very happy that Express Kitchens will be growing here in the city of Bristol. Very great announcement there. Great reuse of the space, and we're very excited about that. One last quick announcement, just more on the lighter side, is that Bristol Sports Armory will have a college boxing tournament again this year. I think this is the 3rd year. Really pretty cool atmosphere for people to go watch boxing. Not anything like a heavyweight fight, but very good competitive boxing that should be fun at the Bristol Armory. It will be there Friday, Saturday, and I think it ends Saturday, but I can get back to you on that. But certainly you can check that out on the web. Thanks. That's all I have. Sue?
How do I follow those 3?
Sorry, they were a big one.
Okay, just a reminder, the Shamrock Road Race is being held this Saturday, March 15th, and that's going to be at Chippens Hill Middle School. You can still log on to register and to participate in this 22-year tradition. Also attached to the Shamrock Road Race is the pasta dinner, which is being held on the 13th at St. Gregory's CCD Hall. For ticket prices and information about times for both of these events, you could just go right on to Facebook or on their website to get that. Let's see, just a reminder, the Taste of Bristol cards we're into halfway through the month of March. Those are still available to be purchased for $5. And those cards are good for the whole entire month of March and April. And they are to be used at 40 plus restaurants and coffee shops here in Bristol. You get 20% off your bill. So one visit to one restaurant will probably most likely, pay for, most, if not all of your $5 investment. And it's a great way to support our businesses. Coming up at the end of the month is Bristol Hospital Foundation Barrels, Brews, and Bites. That's going to be held on March 29th from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Doubletree. For more ticket information, you can call the foundation office at 860-585-3365. And one last thing, kind of thinking ahead to the end of April, the Women and Girls Fund of Main Street Community Foundation is holding their 24th annual Wonder of Women WOW event. I think the last 3 years I had city meetings and I was not even able to attend, but this year it's on a Wednesday, April 30th. So for more information, you can go to www.mainstreetfoundation.org or call their office at 860-583-6363. Their guest speaker, the event is called Harnessing the Power Within You. And their guest speaker this year is Donna Palumba, and she is the founder of Jane Doe No More. It's a if you've never heard her story or never heard her speak, it is worth just going to this event just to hear her speak. So for more information, I hope to see everybody there. And no, you don't have to be a woman. It's open to all.
I've been there. It's a good program. Jackie.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks, Sue.
Yes, I have a couple of Parks and Rec announcements. Spring Learn to Swimmer registration that opens at 12 p.m. on Tuesday, March 18th for residents and Wednesday, the 19th for non-residents. Then we have the April vacation climbing camp at Pine Lake Adventure Park, and that's for grades 5 to 8. And that's on Monday, April 14th, and that goes through Thursday, April 17th from 9 to 4. I also want to take this opportunity to say that the calls that I receive are not always complaints. Sometimes they're calls to compliment certain individuals or departments. So I would like to commend the tax department on the great job that they do, not only in assisting the public, but keeping on top of delinquent taxes.
We'll pass that along to Ann. She'll appreciate hearing that. She's one of the best.
She is.
Jackie, you good? Yep.
That's it.
Sebastian.
Sure, I just, in the same vein there, I want to say thanks to Friends of the Public Library, and they want to express their thanks to the folks that came out at the end of last month for their annual book sale. They had a great turnout. The Friends expressed a lot of appreciation for the pre-sale, the bag sale on Sunday. They didn't get final numbers yet. Last year they had $10,000+ that was raised for the Friends. It was a huge turnout. So we're going to try and get those numbers. They want to say thanks. The Friends Cafe is open in the library. Go get a cup of coffee up on the second floor of the library. They'll be glad to have you, and support the Friends when you can. And they want to say thank you.
Great. Thanks. Any other announcements? All right, hearing none, we'll move to number 5, which is the consent agenda. We have items A through K, pretty long consent agenda. Does anybody wish to withdraw anything from the consent agenda? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So move.
Second.
Second for Jackie, thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. We move on to number 6, which is reports and committee reports. I'm gonna turn that over to you, Sue, for the real estate one first. Or whatever one you want first. But, you have one?
I just have
No,
one.
that's just
I just have
real estate.
one.
That's right, yeah, we're gonna be new business for the others, yep.
Okay, I'll start with the motion. I hereby move that the city-owned property known as 36 Eastview Street, Lot 56, 15A on the Tax Assessor's Map 24 be referred to the Planning Commission for a Connecticut General Statute, Section 8-24 report, specifically to address whether this city lot acquired through foreclosure should be sold. I further move that this matter be referred to Park, Public Works, and the Bristol Water and Sewer to determine if any of the aforementioned departments have an interest in utilizing this property.
Second.
Any other comments that you want to add, Sue? Pretty straightforward on this one, yeah.
This is a piece of a parcel that is city-owned, and we were approached at the real estate committee by someone who wishes to purchase it. So before we even go down that road and put it out to RFP and everything, we have to do an 8-24.
Good. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. You have any other committee reports?
Not this month.
Okay. Does anybody else have committee reports? We'll start with you, Mark, and we'll go this way. Nope. Eric?
The Bristol Board of Ed is having their finance and their budget meetings, I believe tomorrow, Wednesday, March 12th at 6 PM is the regular finance and operations. And then the Board of Ed is having a special meeting Wednesday, March 12th at 7 PM for their budget recommendations for the FY 2026. And that's all I have right now.
Yep. Thank you. Cheryl?
Yes, I'm real excited to have this first committee I'm going to give a report on coming to a close. This is the Green Hills Building Committee. This was to deal with the air handling system that had trouble from the startup. So the last remaining air handling units have been insulated, wired, and balanced. The ceiling in the stairwell has been back installed. All balancing has been complete. All electrical is complete. The new condensers for the air handling units and energy recovery ventilators are scheduled for startup the week of spring break recess of 4/14. S&E has completed all wiring to their point checks, and the project is scheduled to be fully completed no later than the end of April. So we're very excited that this work is coming to a close. And we really want to thank the staff, parents, and students for having to put up with, all the inconvenience over the last few years. And so we're just delighted this project is coming to a close. An update on the animal control facility. I had reported we had applied for a grant. Unfortunately, the grant writers, or I should say the grant awarders, are looking for us to have another community that exceeds more than 10% of our overall space. Plymouth already commits to us, and that's roughly 10%. We've reached out to 2 other towns. There was a no from one, and the other is exploring the pluses and minuses with their own city council. In the meantime, our meeting for this Thursday has been canceled until we hear more news and can decide on how to proceed with that grant application. We still have shirts and sweatshirts available that are part of our fundraiser. Long sleeve t-shirts are 30, sweatshirts are 40. You can see Lindsay in Public Works to purchase one. And just lastly, the Board of Fire Commissioners in the month of February, Bristol Fire Department responded to 243 calls for service. There were 7 residential structure fires, 7 total structure fires, 62 EMS extrication and rescue, and 50 false alarms. The Board of Fire Commissioners has also asked the Ordinance Committee to review language surrounding the inspection and upkeep of hydrants on private property so that we can ensure these are available for use should the fire department have to access them during a fire. That's all I need to report.
Excellent. I have one quick one, actually. Northeast Middle School Building Committee, they're well underway. I am proud to say that we did help them with an easement, so they'll be able to come through the Janix property and save us quite a bit of money for the gas connection there. They actually are starting to get their very first reimbursement from the state, so that's good news. It's about 65% reimbursement now. The first initial tranche was $4.4 million. I zoomed in quickly today. They changed the time of their meeting, so I just want to say this publicly. I know it doesn't work out for Sebastian, so later in the agenda, I'm going to take over for him because it does work out in my schedule, and we'll continue to report on it, but the project is moving forward pretty smoothly at this point. We'll knock on wood. Sue, any others? You didn't have any other committee reports, right?
Nope.
Nope. Jackie?
Nope.
Sebastian?
No reports.
Very good. All righty, we will move on to old business. Does anybody have any old business? Mark?
No.
Nope, I'll just wait. I'll leave it open. No old business. All right, we have a couple of new business items. I'm going to turn the first one over to you, Sue.
Okay. Okay, first up is I hereby move that the city-owned property known as 894 Middle Street, Lot 17, 17-3, 17-4-1 on Tax Assessor's Map 4 be referred to the Planning Commission for a Connecticut General Statute Section 8-24 report, specifically to address whether this city property should be sold. I further move that the town clerk be directed to publish legal notice of a public hearing to be held by the Real Estate Committee in accordance with Connecticut General State Statute Section 7-163E. Said hearing to be held on April 8th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. in the City of Bristol Council Chamber. I also move that the Department of Public Works post a sign on 894 Middle Street advising of the public hearing.
Second.
Great. And Sue, maybe you can explain a little bit here too, because we just did an 8-24 that came through the city council, but we're kind of trying to move in a new direction here. So you can explain why this has come through and then get into.
How about if
motion.
we vote on this
Okay.
one and then on the next motion, a quick summary?
Okay, that's fine. Let me just give you
Is
the,
that-
the summary of this one. I think the council is aware, but obviously the audience isn't aware. So this is an action that came through ECD. They currently have negotiated with the one bidder, which was the Carrier Corporation, to redevelop that land on 894 Middle Street. Traditionally, we take a lot of this stuff and we bring it up through council back out for an 8-24, and we're gonna talk next about lateral moves. But all we're voting on here is to make sure that we can get this out to an 8-24. If all goes well and we vote for this, we'll have a public hearing before our next city council meeting. And then the city council will be able to assess whether they want to approve whatever sale price and tax abatements that are agreed upon right now, generally with the ECD department. So here we're just voting on 8-24 and the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. All right, now we'll do the next one, which will make this
Okay.
process easier in the long run, I hope.
So just a very quick summary, if you've noticed a theme in my committee motion that I made and the one that we just made now, the common theme is we bring requests for 8-24 when we're going to sell or acquire property over 10,000? No?
Any property.
Oh, I'm thinking of foreclosure. I'm sorry. Okay. For any kind of property, we always have to bring it here to city council and it just takes like an extra month and a half. So on to my next motion. I hereby move that the Bristol City Council authorize its subcommittee, the Real Estate Committee, and also the Department of Public Works to adopt a policy wherein the Real Estate Committee and Department of Public Works can directly request a Connecticut General Statute Section 8-24 report from the Planning Commission. Currently, the practice has been that the Real Estate Committee or the Department of Public Works motions the City Council for the Connecticut General Statute Section 8-24 report. This extra procedural step causes a needless 1-month delay, causing frustration for potential purchasers of city-owned properties and that of the Real Estate Committee and Department of Public Works in regards to easements. I further move that this matter be referred to the Corporation Counsel's office and the Purchasing Department for implementation.
Second.
Great. And I think explained very well. Just to also talk about subcommittees, just for clarification for everybody, the Real Estate Committee is made up of 3 council people. So it's just a subcommittee of the council. And this action doesn't ever really result in anything that's a major decision. It all has to come back to the council anyway, an 8-24. Public Works, just for the record, actually has a majority of the council because it's 3 council people and the mayor. So just trying to streamline things makes a lot of sense. And it ultimately comes back to the council anyway. So after planning and whoever makes their decisions. Any questions or further comments, especially real estaters and no? Yeah, go ahead.
I just think in simple terms, it's somebody comes to real estate, they want to buy something. We have to wait to council before we can send it for an 8-24 for planning. Then it has to come back to city council anyway after the 8-24. So basically it's just taking a month off. It's like, so it's easier, it's more business friendly. And I think we were all in agreement with that on the
Yes.
real estate council.
We're gonna find out in a second because I'm gonna call the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Very good. No other new business from you, right, Sue?
Nope.
We're good. Anybody else have any other new business? Okay, we will move on to resignations. That's you, Erica.
Christina Tangway resigned from School Readiness Council. Sebastian Paniotto from the Northeast Middle School Building Committee, and Nicole Duquette resigned from the Board of Finance.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the resignations and have a letter sent to each participant thanking them for their service.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Thanks. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. All right, now we move on to appointments for March. The first one is the Aging Commission. We have 2 reappoints, so I'd like to entertain a motion to reappoint Dolores Ricker. Her term will expire on 3/28, and Sheila Herons, her term will also expire on 3/28.
Move approval?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. On the Cemetery Commission, we also have 2 people that would like to be reappointed. So I'll entertain a motion to reappoint Mike Saman and Maya Bringe. You remember, we just appointed Maya Bringe, so we'd better not have any problems with that. They'll both expire now on 3/28, so she's going to get a full term.
Move it.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? And then we kind of have 2 motions with this one. So because of the roof fix and all of the work that we're going to be doing at Edgewood Pre-K, we're required to create a building committee. So I'd like to entertain a motion to create the Edgewood Pre-K Building Project Committee.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? And then we can do these all together, but the appointees for that committee will be Jackie Olson, who is a city council representative, Courtney Sugarman, she's part of the educational staff at the school, Cheryl Assis is a taxpayer from the area, David Hartley is a taxpayer from the area, John Lodovico is a taxpayer from the community at large, John Freemuth is a professional within the community, and Roman Kushja is a professional from within the community, and that fills out the board. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. And then, as we talked about, the Northeast Middle School Building Committee is a little bit of a funky time now, so I'm going to be asking for an appointment for myself on that committee.
So
Move
move.
approval?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. School readiness, we had a couple of resignations and changes, so we would like to appoint Elizabeth McGuire. She will represent the Bristol Burlington Health District on the School Readiness Committee.
So moved. Second.
You got it? You're good. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. On the Youth Commission, we have the under 21 representative who is Miguel Salguero. He'd like to be reappointed. He may come up to his age limit during this term, but we definitely want to reappoint him if we could.
So move.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. I don't know what's funny, but I must have messed up a name or something. But anyway, we have one last one. Zoning Board of Appeals. There is an alternate vacancy, and I'd like to entertain a motion to appoint John Lukasevich. That term will expire on 7/27.
Move approval?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. I think I got them all, Erica, full council. Good. Moving right along, we move on to number 11, which are 2 easements. And I'll have somebody read the motion first, if you don't mind. Cheryl, you have it open?
It's 11A is a resolution.
Oh, resolution, yes.
Right. I resolve that the city of Bristol, a municipal corporation under the laws of the state of Connecticut, grant and convey to the Connecticut Light and Power Company, DBA Eversource Energy, a corporation chartered by General Assembly by the state of Connecticut and having its principal office in the town of Berlin, in the state of Connecticut, its successors, and assign permanent rights for the installation, maintenance, and repair of electric and gas lines over, under, and across the lands of the city of Bristol, situated on the westerly side of Church Avenue in the city of Bristol, as set forth in the proposed easement presented to this meeting, which is hereby ordered filed with the records of this meeting, and resolved that Jeffrey Caggiano, the mayor of the city of Bristol, be and he is authorized to execute and deliver in the name of the city of Bristol an easement presented to this meeting, and to do any and other all acts to effectuate the foregoing.
Can I have a second?
Second.
And we will do a roll call vote. Erica?
Councilmember Dicko,
Yes.
Councilmember Olson,
Aye.
Councilmember Paniotto,
Aye.
Councilmember Rosengren,
Yes.
Councilmember Tebow,
Yes.
Councilmember Tyler,
Aye.
Mr. Mayor.
Aye, motion carries. The next is the culvert replacement at Lake Avenue. Can I have somebody do the motion?
I have it.
Go ahead, Jackie.
I make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign an easement with Festival Fun Parks LLC to construct a culvert on Lake Avenue at Gus Gutter Brook. The culvert is located on the southern end of Lake Avenue, north of Lake Compounce Amusement Park.
Second.
Great. I do want to thank Doug Hemphill from Lake Compounds. He works very hard. And by the way, thanks to Ray and his staff for being very patient with him. Looks like we're going to keep this project on target, but he had a lot of hoops to go through to get this approved. So happy to see this project moving forward. All those in favor?
We gotta get a
Aye.
second.
Aye.
Did we get a second?
We got a second, right? Yep.
Okay.
All right. Again, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. All right, number 12, we move on to contracts. Can I have a motion to approve the change orders for D'Amato Downs joint venture totaling $194,475.29 as recommended by the Northeast Middle School Building Committee, and authorize the mayor or acting mayor to execute any document necessary to amend the contract?
So move. Second.
All right, questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Somebody want to do B?
I make a motion to award contract 2C 25-061 sidewalk repair program to Martin Lavero Contractor, Inc. in the amount of $195,945, and to authorize the mayor or acting mayor to execute any and all documents necessary to effect said contract.
Second.
Great. Questions or comments on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. C,
Make a motion to amend the contract 2P22-010, design of renovation and improvement at Page Park with Weston and Sampson Engineering, Inc. in the amount of $499,900 for a revised contract amount of $1,859,490, and to authorize the mayor or acting mayor to execute any and all documents necessary to effect said contract amendment.
Second.
great. Just a little update on this one too. Not everybody's on the capital improvement committee. So this is going to keep that project moving forward. We are likely not going to fund that phase 2 of the Page Park project. But there are monies left in the account to allow us to go ahead and do the engineering and the design for phase 2. And then we'll see how monies look over the next couple of years to finish that project. So this was approved by the park board and passed along to us and should be in good order. Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Last one, D.
I'd like to make a motion to award contract 2C 25-052 roadway reconstruction, drainage and miscellaneous work to Tobacco and Son Builders Incorporated in the amount of $1,285,500, and to authorize the mayor or acting mayor to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate said contract.
Second.
Great. Any questions or comments on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. All right, we're going to move on to 13, and Tom's still in the audience, right? So I'll ask you to come up, Tom, as we do this, just to kind of explain in more detail how this works. But go ahead and read the motion for me, Cheryl, because you have it
Sure.
open.
I hereby move that the city of Bristol adopt the revised motor vehicle depreciation schedule set forth in House Bill 7067, effective for the October 1st, 2024 grand list.
Second.
Second, very good. Tom, I'll let you go ahead and explain what happened there and we'll see if we have questions and we'll move forward.
Yeah, so basically the legislation that was signed into law by the governor essentially just takes the straight line depreciation schedule that was previously adopted in the original Public Act, which was 85% in year one that ran all the way through year 20 to 15%, is now just bumped up by 5% in each increment and year over year change. So that essentially reduces the overall reduction to the grand list by a significant amount. And I can give you the rough estimate on that. So previously, the grand list, there was grand list growth of $793,159 based on the current mill rates. This new scenario, if we play it fully out, will give us a grand list growth of just over 2.6 million. And I have to be extremely cautionary that this is just rough estimates. We literally have a lot of work to do to get it back into the grand list, reopen it, take away the certificates of change that fall under your uncollected rate, and reestablish the grand list with the new depreciation schedule, and then make those adjustments all over again. So this is rough estimates, but it does show a significant estimate of grand list growth, and I believe I'm being conservative.
Appreciate that. We already talked about the fact that this change was made because it affected everybody widely, but every city, I just want to repeat it, has to go ahead and adopt this. They don't have to, actually. They could have stayed with the other one. I'm not sure many that aren't. And you have to report this by when, Tom? So I want to give you kudos on that because it's going to be a quick turnaround.
One week from tomorrow. So as soon as you effectuate it, we'll get right into the database, make the changes, and then I'll produce that form for you to sign off on, Mayor.
All right.
And Marie O'Brien's question, you can't go backwards. So there is only the two schedules. You're not locked in to this 90% straight line depreciation schedule. If we have grand list growth in another year and you want to give property tax relief, you can go backwards.
Yep. Now, the trend has been very much the opposite. We've been doing okay in real estate. We hope that we're going to see big real estate growth over the next couple of years as we had a lot of large projects come on. We did very well with personal property. In years leading up to this, we've seen great growth in the motor vehicle grand list. And then post-COVID, it's, kind of taken a natural nosedive, which has taken the burden shift of the taxes and pushed that onto our homeowners in the city of Bristol. So I can't urge you all enough to be voting yes for this because it reduces that loss from, it was about $2.5 million, if I'm not correct, if we had done the other depreciation schedule, down to $825,000 approximate. We're not going to hold you exactly to that number of a loss in the motor vehicle grand list. We've covered everything. Any questions?
Just out of curiosity, question to the chair. This sounds like how much time and effort and energy does this take you to make this change?
It's probably going to take more than a few days, probably the better part of 3 or 4 days. The initial process to get the form filled out for the Office of Policy and Management should be just tomorrow. It should be a one-day event. Just reopen the grand list, switch to the depreciation code in the software, go through a quick reconciliation, and then we have to redo any modifications that people provided us proof on their adjusted vehicle values. So it's, my car was totaled, I sold my car, anything along those lines where we have two forms of proof showing that the vehicle is no longer in their possession.
Thank you for what you do.
Yeah, we do appreciate it. And I do worry about, I guess I shouldn't, we got to worry about ourselves, but some of these little small towns that have part-time assessors and they might not take advantage of this because of that. And that'll hurt across the board. I still like the idea. We should have raised the motor vehicle cap, but that would have been easier. But we'll have to keep fighting for that next year.
Fair enough.
All right.
Well,
any last questions for Tom? Thank you again, Tom. Appreciate the hard work on this. All those in favor?
Aye.
Is there anybody opposed? Motion carries. All right, 14. Can somebody read that motion for me if you have it open?
I'd like to make a motion to enter into a contract with Little Green Light Donor Management and LGL Form Subscription Service, which would allow donors via credit cards to donate to the Bristol Public Library. To authorize the mayor or acting mayor pending finance board approval to sign any and all documents, including but not limited to the aforementioned subscription service contract, and to refer this matter to the Board of Finance for approval, the Corporation Counsel's Office to review the contract, and the Information Technology Department to effectuate this service.
Second.
Great. And then Sebastian, I think you're closest to this, so give us a little idea of
Yeah,
what
so
this is about.
the library, they have gone forward with adding a button with work through the Main Street Foundation. That was a little more direct and friendly to establish there, or quickly, I should say, to donate. Obviously, the library has a few funds and trusts that they're able to draw from. So they're trying to put these two funds in particular out there. The one that is before us here is the Centennial Fund, which is administered by the city. So we're looking to establish this, set up the payment system, make sure it clears with Corp Counsel and the IT department to ensure safety of the donation process, so that donors can donate to this particular fund in addition to the Main Street Fund through the main page on the library website.
Through the chair,
Go ahead.
this will be no cost to the city, correct?
I believe they'll draw like other donation services from the donation.
Okay.
So in other words, if you want to donate $100, you have to do $103
There
because
is
the
a
service
service.
fee will get on it.
Right. I just wanted to make sure. That's all. Thank you.
And just a quick update here too, because I want to give a little shout out to Ryan Boldley, who is our newer deputy treasurer. We have about 6 of these different systems out there so that we can collect taxes, so that we can pay for the dump pass. And we're going to try to bring code enforcement, everything out there. We're going to try to bring these together. So Ryan Boldley, who is our deputy treasurer, has been assigned the task to look at it and see if we can find, we may never find one that covers all of them because they have slight nuances. You might be able to use them on a Saturday morning, and obviously Ray at the dump needs that, or you might not be able to take funds from a nonprofit or something like that. So we hopefully to get these down, but this looks like a good addition, and certainly it's going to service the library board well, I think. Anything else to add, Sebastian?
Nope.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. And I don't know that we ended a meeting before 8 o'clock, so I can't imagine there's any other business to come before us. All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We did it, 7:55.